So what's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you've been following us for any length of time, thank you very much, by the way, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button down below. Well, you'll know that, I tend to brag a little bit about our stand here of Indian grass. As you can see, we got a pretty established stand of it. I mean, it goes over this whole area right here and actually starts to filter in over that way, and it's actually started to filter in over that way to where there's quite a bit of, there's a big clump of it over there. But you can see this Indian grass is just about ready to be grazed because it has a tip on it. And it's good, 3 feet tall here. Some of it, like this one here, this one's as tall as me right here. This is 6 feet tall. And this is some of the best grass that you can put into a cow, especially a grass-fed cow. Indian grass is a native prairie grass to the United States, and this is what the field, and this is what the prairies look like when the buffalo were roaming around, when they were moving themselves. This right here is what they got fat on. This is what they loved. And when the European settlers came in and started fencing everything off and continuous grazing happened, what happened was this just got ate down, and with this, it's very important that you at least leave 6 to 8 inches on it when it's grazed, because if you don't, then it really weakens the root system on it, and it just kind of fades away and dies. So that's why you don't see very much of it anymore, and it's sad, because this is some of the best grass. This is the grass that's native to here. This Indian grass can send down roots 22 feet. Doesn't happen all the time, especially on the smaller ones, but it can send down roots 22 feet. This warm season perennial can help sequester the most carbon. I mean, it's taking, carbon from the atmosphere, and in some cases sending it down 22 feet into its roots. And then when it's grazed off, those roots die, and it adds more carbon to the soil. So we got Indian grass that has made me extremely happy. Last year we had, maybe 4, 5, 6 plants pop up. This year, I mean, there's at least hundreds here. There's at minimum hundreds, if not thousands here. And then we go around the farm, because there's a good another probably 100 over there. And then we go down this fence row here all the way. It actually extends all the way to the fence way out there, 1,000 feet away. And there's patches, nothing like this here, to where it's not all Indian grass, which is, we don't want all of any grass. We want something that looks like this. This is like perfect here, to where it's a little bit of this. Don't know exactly what that is. It's a little bit of this. So this is what I like to call the Indian grass field. Well, found something the other day, had to confirm it with a few people, but now we're gonna, zip to the other side of the farm, show you what I found. And here it is. Here's what I'm excited about. Here's what I want to show you. This here, we'll call it 98% sure that this is Eastern Gammagrass. This is the ice cream grass for cows. This is their absolute favorite. This is the absolute best thing for them. And this is, again, the #1 of the big 4. And now, I wasn't sure, check this out. I wasn't sure if this was Eastern Gammagrass. I had a feeling it was, so I posted a picture online, had a couple people comment that know better than I do. And there's a little bit of a debate whether this was orchard grass or Eastern Gamma. Those are the only two that people were really saying. And this stalk here of grass didn't actually shoot up in the picture that I posted. So after seeing this right here, and then just look at the leaves and look at the stalks, they're rounded, they're not flat. So I think this is for sure Eastern Gammagrass. That is, look at this. This is probably a little over 3 feet tall right here. And it's not just these two plants. We have quite, not a lot of it, but quite a bit of it. Look at this here. You can see where the cows grazed it off last time. It still hasn't completely recovered yet. See, right there, there's another one. There's another one. There's another one. There's another one. And this really excites me, because if we can get a stand of this, the cows are going to be just doing, that much better. That much better. This is the best as far as protein to carbohydrate ratio, to where we can finish cows on this. Because with the proteins, it's hard to finish cattle on protein because they don't, marble as well in their later stages. You really have to finish them on carbohydrates, but the younger they are, the more protein they want, and the better it is for them, so they can put on more muscle and just frame out better. But this has like a 17% protein, and the carbohydrates in it are just fantastic as well. So just like the Indian grass, This one is even probably a little bit more susceptible to overgrazing, to where if you graze it down to here or even lower, it's just not gonna come back. So what I'm gonna do is, when the cows come over to this paddock, I'm either gonna skip it or I'll go put a fence like all around here to where they just can't get to it. Because I really do want this to fully express itself and go to seed. This one's trying to right here. It's getting to the point to where it's getting there. But I really want these plants to drop their seed, because, you know, each plant produces a few hundred to a few thousand seeds. Imagine this whole area here, you know, next year, if I do that, this whole area filling up with Indian grass. And you see the difference between this eastern Gammagrass and everybody's favorite around here is the coastal Bermuda, is that when you look at the tonnage, okay, so say you had a solid stand of Bermuda, coastal Bermuda, and a solid stand of eastern Gamma on an acre. You look at the tonnage that you take off in hay, wouldn't hay this, would not hay this, would let this just go do its thing forever. So we can produce 35% more hay out of eastern Gammagrass than Bermuda grass, which is the standard, the best, everybody loves it around here. But if we can go beyond the Bermuda and produce this, guess what? We can produce 35% more grass than the best farms around here. What that also means that we might be able to produce 35% more beef. Now the numbers don't necessarily work out that way, but let me show you the importance of this. You see, grass grows if you put January here and December here in a double hump, okay? So it goes up in the springtime, down in the summertime, and then up again in the fall to where you can get some stockpile up. This grass here, this one, Indian grass, big blue stem, and switchgrass, are warm season perennials, okay? What that means is they love the heat. They love the summer. Bermuda grass likes the kind of mid to late spring. That's when it's really getting going. That's the when it's the most. That's when the temperatures at night are above 60 degrees. But in the summertime, it kind of hits the summer slump a little bit. And right around now, between, you know, late July, August, early September, it starts to just, you know, kind of plateau, and it doesn't come back as vigorously as it does in the spring, or like it would grow in the, you know, early fall. So if we go back to that double hump, it goes like that. In that downturn for the Bermuda, guess what grows? Eastern Gammagrass. So we'd have a spike during July, August, September, when the Bermuda grass it's still growing, but not nearly as fast as it did a few months before. So with this Eastern Gamma here, and here, and here, and here, and here, what we're looking to do, so instead of the double hump, it'd be a hump, and then the Eastern Gammagrass will kick in to where it might not even go down, it might just level off or even go up. And then the Bermuda grass comes back when the Eastern Gamma starts to go away in the fall, and keep that hump higher, to where instead of it like this with grass, it's kind of like this throughout the growing season. I hope that makes sense, because it's pretty hard to do without a whiteboard. And now I'm going to be like one of those guys on TV trying to sell you something. But wait, there's more. This paddock here, hit me with the wind, I mowed it because there is there's just a lot of weeds in it, and I wanted to help, you know, just get rid of them. You can see a lot of goat weed out that way, so I mowed a lot of it, not all of it, but a lot of it. But you can see that there's certain parts, you can see exactly right here, where I didn't mow. There's a couple, like right over there, but I'm going to talk to you about this one here for a second. I didn't mow this because when I was going around the mower, I saw this. It wasn't like this all the way grown up because it's been gone for a while, but it was like down here where you can see these leaves, and so it was, you know, 8 to 10 inches off the ground, and I saw that the cows just ate it down like crazy. So I didn't know what it was just in the split second that I saw it, but something told me don't mow this down. And now that I figured out what it is, I'm really glad I didn't. Why? Check it out. This here, you can tell by the seed head on it, and it's coming in, is another one of the big four. This is switchgrass. This is awesome, and you know what? I actually mowed a little bit more than I should have. I didn't see it in time, but over here, you see this whole little area right here. There's a little bit of a kind of a valley, or I wouldn't call this a gully by any means, but just a depression to where the water kind of runs down. And we got a whole stand of switchgrass right here. Goes from right about over there to the beginning of the paddock to, I would say right about there where it starts to drop down, and even over here. So I shouldn't have mowed this, but I left this, and it's starting to go to seed. So look at that. That is 3 out of the big 4 that we have here on the farm. I mean, I'm really, really, really excited about it. And here, next to the switchgrass little patch, sure enough, we come back here, and we find more of the Indian grass. I don't know how it got here, but it did. It was probably in the soil, in the seed bank, and just how we're grazing stuff is stimulating it to come back up. And in a couple years, imagine this is what 18 months does. Watch what happens in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years. This stuff is going to be all throughout the farm. If we're able to do that, if we're able to do this, and then I'm doing some research about a cool season perennial mix that we might be able to grow in, say, late October, November, maybe even December on a couple days here. That would be a game changer, because again, it wouldn't be the double hump. Then we'd have grass at the same level basically all year round. We might be able to get out of the whole hay thing. So needless to say, I get a little bit excited about grass. Some of you might think I'm weird for that, but you know what? It's just so cool to see the native prairie coming back. If you want to take carbon out of the atmosphere and put it back in the soil, this is the way to do it. If you want, you know, better tasting beef, this is the way to do it. If you want healthier beef, this is the way to do it. If you want, this is just the way to do it. So to keep following along, hit that subscribe button down below, ring the notification bell so you get notified when we put up new videos. Hit the like button because it really does help with the YouTube algorithm, and drop a comment if you like, alright? Till next time, see ya. Bye.